Hello, Ben. How are you doing, me old mucker?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm well. I'm pumped and ready to roll.
Bit of a blast from the past here, isn't it? My little bullhorn when I used to go around the old treatment and test centres.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, well, indeed. And once again, we are joined, of course, by the man in the corner himself, Adam. Say hello.
Hello. Hello, Ben. Where is your little red hat? You need the red hat.
I have it somewhere. It may well be around here. I'm not sure. I might have to look out for that. But John,
Ben,
introduce the show.
I'd like to welcome one and all to this episode 136 of this fine show that we know as Chasing Dissent Live. From me, the man formerly in the van and now hunkering in the bunker, and from Ben on the south coast of this fair land that we call England. And, not forgetting, the man in the corner, Badger Bob.
Well, it's been an interesting few days, hasn't it, John?
It's been well packed with news.
It really has this week, and then obviously last night we went down the rabbit hole to speak about the Titanic.
We did. Or should we call it the Olympic?
I don't know.
If you wish to know more, go and watch our episode last night with Ed the Techie.
It was good.
It's freely available on YouTube.
It was good. It was good fun. It was wholesome family fun had by all, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, we were on the cusp of it turning into a horror show, but you managed to retain yourself, and you didn't fall over and flop about on the floor like a flat fish.
I had my
water.
boogaloo a few hours later, and now I feel spiffing.
Excellent, jolly good. There's nothing to beat the feeling of post-seizure.
Oh, it is fantastic. It's like that euphoria you feel after an hour's vomiting.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's
yeah. It's like the second day after you've had gastric flu when you think, oh my god, how can it get any better?
well, you know, it is like that, right?
Please let me die now.
So John,
yes, Ben.
do we have a list?
We have a list. We do. We have a list, and I'm going to make a new intro because this one's getting tired and boring, isn't it?
Roll VT.
Roll VT. Take it away, Cecil.
So, where are we at then? Where are we going first? What is happening in the news today, John? Oh yeah, make it rain pardons. So do I. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold on. It didn't bring your audio in again. OBS is shite.
For fuck's sake. I mean, this is my best materials at the first fucking 2 minutes. I've had enough of this shit.
I've had enough of this software. Maybe I should
What's
actually...
that? Not fucking using it again.
Maybe I should actually do the update.
Maybe we should just fucking switch to the Etherium.
So, Joe Biden has let off the stoners.
Yes, he has.
And you just said
I
you
said
actually
stacks.
agree with him.
Yeah, I did. And I said we were equal opportunity mockists.
Yeah.
And on this occasion, while I'm no great lover of Joe Biden, certainly not in the physical sense, I have to agree with him. I don't see the problem.
I don't see the problem either, to be honest. I don't think that people should be mandated against having drugs, to be honest. And people
Well,
say,
you
"Oh
make up
my
your own mind,
God!"
yeah.
But this is it; it's your body, right? And if we are to adhere to the tenets of your body, your choice, then it has to be in everything, surely.
Well, yes, it should be. It should be. But I mean, well, Portugal decriminalised drugs, didn't they? And drug use and offences went down.
Of course, and of course they always will, because the offence itself isn't there. But
Yeah, but drug use went down.
because people have to realise, people have to understand that when something is verboten, when something is forbidden, it's edgy, it's cool to want and have that thing, right?
Yeah.
When it's just, legal, nobody really cares anymore.
Oh. Indeed. So yeah, let's see what happens. And of course, the government always has the opportunity to tax it once it's legal.
Absolutely. They get a nice tax, the price goes down, the quality goes up.
Yeah,
What's
it's like
not
hookers.
to love? I mean,
It's
let's
like
face it.
hookers.
Let's
Hookers should be legal, and the quality would go up, and the price would come down.
Vegas, baby.
There you go.
I mean, it's supply and demand, isn't it? And you
Yeah.
know, when the market is crammed, you get loads and loads of competition, higher quality, and lower prices, because you're trying to compete with one another. And who wins? The consumer. Indeed. Adam,
Yes.
you just said in the chat, I see there that you've got your special cookie. Care to elaborate?
I have got my special cookie. I'll just go and get it. Hold on one moment.
God,
All right.
where the fuck is he going?
I'm gone. I'm back. Look at that. That was magic. I've got my cookie here.
Can you hear
This
these
is-
clowns in the background?
Yeah,
This is-
I can hear the clowns in the
Fucking
back.
doing my nutting.
Nah, just go and chuck like some kind of incendiary device down the stairs and say, "That's because you won't shut up."
That's one of Biden's marijuana cookies.
Are you now eating the special cookies?
Mmm.
And tell us, do you already feel chill?
Mmm.
John's
I do. I've got my CBD oil here as well.
Oh wow!
So I'm all kitted out, ready for Biden's announcement yesterday.
Except for you're not in that country, Adam.
No, I know. Well, I could be anywhere right now, Ben. You would never know, would you?
Well, that's it. You are just in the corner, to be honest.
This means this is why we need our own studio. This is no use operating out of these boxes.
I know.
These uncontained boxes in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, I've probably got the best one, to be honest.
Yeah, if you want to take on a staff of dwarfs.
Yeah. I mean, it's about 9 foot tall.
Well, you could put them on shelves then. I mean, it's fine having 9 foot tall, but there's no floor space.
Now that's true.
That's true.
That's
I mean, I sat in it once to do a show, and it was like you sit there and you don't move, and it's like, oh my god, this is worse than being in an aircraft.
Well, to be fair, I've got a massive desk in here, so that probably
Yeah, but
doesn't help.
To be fair, it's not a huge studio. I mean, it might look good from the camera point of view, but it's not big.
It's not.
Not big.
No.
It's not big, mate.
The magic of editing.
Yeah, I know.
Not the size that counts.
Well, in some cases it is.
It's how. But to be fair, there's a lot of tech in here now. There's a lot of tech in here.
Yeah.
So it's going to keep itself warm through the winter, I think. I mean, I've got the fan on. I've not got the heating on. I've got the fan on.
Good.
Shall we move on to our next story then?
Yeah, go on.
Go for it. What have we got here? Twitter refuses renewed
Right.
$44 billion bid. Elon Musk lawyers say. Where is this story from?
Well,
going?
see, this is the thing. Is this just another nonsense statement that's been coming out? Because if you think about it, right, and think about it critically, he's been taken to court by Twitter for not buying it, right? So he's now offered to, I'm going to buy it at the price that was agreed. Now, Twitter can't say no.
Well, no, because not only have the board unanimously agreed to sell, the shareholders have agreed as well. There's been a
So
vote.
But Twitter can't say no, because what are they going to do? Turn up at court and say, we want him to buy it? And he says, well, I've fucking told you I'm buying it at the price we agreed.
And exactly.
I mean, the court's not going to go, well, okay, you pay more. They're not going to do that.
Well, the reason I ask where is this from is, as far as I can see, looking at Elon Musk's Twitter, and I'm going to go to his Twitter account now, he's not said anything of the sort.
No, I mean, he's not going to say anything about it anyway, because the thing's a manufactured tweet by plonkers on Twitter. That's what it's about. This is about the lefties on Twitter whose sphincters are tweeting and twitching as we speak, because they think they're going down the toilet. And you know what? They may well be, because what else has Elon said what else has been reported that Elon's going to do?
Is that the next slide, by any chance?
No, there's no slide on it. Just talk about it.
Okay, so Jack Posobiec has reported that leaked text and leaked messages show that he's going to unban every single banned account, like we called for.
That is great news.
If that's what happens, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it should happen. And to be honest, I don't think he's got any option.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he doesn't do that, then everybody just walks away.
I was very skeptical a few days ago when Elon Musk said he was going to do this, and I was, Elon is obviously dodgy here, but as time's gone on, I've seen the articles from BBC and from Reuters, and it's clear that, this is going to be good, and it's going to be good for all of us, not just the left or the right. So this is going to be great.
Well,
it's going to be proper free speech.
What I find hilarious are all of these people that have been crowing, right? So we turn around and we say, you shouldn't censor those people. And us included, obviously. But these people, they knock back, they hit back, but Twitter's my private company. They can do what they want. And the second that the idea that these people could be let back on the platform comes around, they're going, we need to look at antitrust laws. We need to look at who can own these public squares and social media platforms. Weren't you
No, we don't. No, we absolutely don't.
So what I do need to do is translate those tweets for you. I can do that right now. I can do that in real time. The translation is this. It's fine to control speech when it's people we like doing it. But when people we don't like start allowing them to come back, then we got to look at antitrust laws.
May I make a translation?
You may.
That's I think more concise than yours.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Let the salty liberal tears flow.
Yeah.
Let the
flow.
anger flow through you, young Skywalker.
Let them flow over my boots as I trample them.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Let's move on.
Extinction Rebellion Horsham.
Horsham, that's not too far from me.
Yeah, well, they've said the madness of new oil and gas licenses. So the UK has defied climate warnings, right? Climate warnings aren't climate warnings. Let's clear this up, right? Climate warnings are only models.
Yes.
That have never, ever proven to be true.
Absolutely
They've never
correct.
come to pass.
Yep.
Right? So these models are based on a fallacy of failure.
Absolutely. But you're not...
Right?
Are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to speak facts?
Oh, it's a fact. I mean, there hasn't been a climate model that's yet to come true. So...
Fact check. Accurate.
That's right. So how can they defy warnings when none of them have come true? Anyway,
Tell me.
the British government appear to be doing a sensible thing and putting out more licenses for exploration of fossil fuels in areas that we know already contain fossil fuels.
Well, that's a good thing.
That
can only help us, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, let's face it, we've got to make up that 3% shortfall from Putin somewhere.
Yeah, we do.
Putin!
So, there we say, Extinction Rebellion Horsham, what have they said? So, they have said, madness of new oil gas licenses. There can be no new oil gas projects if we are to keep global temperatures rise under 1.5. This 1.5 number.
Right, so this is like you need to drink 2 litres of water a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a number that's just plucked out the air with no basis of scientific fact or any data to back it up anywhere.
Well, you're absolutely right. And then what they do is they create these doomsday models based upon what they think will happen with this temperature rise of 1.5. And all we got to do is look at the Arctic.
Well, all we've got to do is look at the recent data that's just been published, and there hasn't been a rise in 30 years.
Well, you're exactly right. You're absolutely right. I mean,
No rise.
I saw Roger Hallam on Farage. I played a stat as a laugh the other night, didn't I?
Yeah,
and even Farage, and I don't like him very much, but even Farage pointed out to Roger Hallam that we've been told that the Maldives would be underwater by the early 90s.
Yeah.
New York and
Florida are meant to be underwater by now, by 2010, I think it was. And we're supposed to run out of oil by the year 2000.
At this point, the climate lobby are the boy who cried wolf, because every time they release a prediction and they say this is going to happen, this definite doomsday, it never comes to pass. Not one single model has been correct. That is the current reality of which we face. Okay, so why? At what point do we turn around and go, maybe we need to listen to someone else?
Yeah, well, or maybe we need to do what we should all be doing as adults and looking at a wide variety of sources and coming to our own conclusions instead of
which is what we want you to do.
Yeah, instead of relying on the box in the corner. Yeah, I mean, do you ever see Max Headroom? You know, it's like. And you've seen 1984, it's like, do not rely on your source of information coming from any kind of media. And yes, that includes us.
Absolutely.
That does include us, because we have our own inbuilt biases and tendencies to go off on rants and things. And we have our own agenda. Mainly at the moment, my agenda is to try and make some kind of money out of this, because at the moment it is failing.
Yeah, we are failing. Yeah, absolutely.
But
we're having a great time doing it.
Yeah, we love doing it, but we need more people watching us. We need more people subscribing.
So
we need more people liking.
Hit the like button, the share button. Do everything you can to help bring us a wider variety of people. And we also want people in here who disagree with us. We want them here. We want them.
I'm happy to take on or to speak to people.
Yeah.
Just 1 point from me. Did you guys see yesterday they're saying that we're going to have 3 to 4 hours of blackouts every day?
Yeah. Okay. Right. No, that's not the time to talk about that, because it's in the fucking list.
Excellent.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming the man in the corner hadn't actually had time to review the list before.
No, I haven't seen that slide.
Man in the corner worries me at times. Anyway. Let's go to Scotland.
Let's go to Scotland.
And our resident artist in Edinburgh, J.K. Rowling.
Does she actually still live there?
Yeah, yeah.
She does?
No, she does, yeah. She was out there the other day at some sort of protest. Yeah, so she lives in Edinburgh, and she's taken on the bastard son, because she's wearing a t-shirt that says Nicola Sturgeon is a destroyer of women's rights. And she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
She is not wrong.
You know, the laws in Scotland are now essentially self-ID, aren't they? So if you went downstairs right now and said, "I'm a woman," you would be forced to let you join your gym.
No.
Oh no, you're exempt, aren't you?
Yeah, we're exempt.
But
because gyms are exempt from the gender discrimination laws.
But at the same time, if you went downstairs right now, went outside and said, "I'm a woman," if anybody said you weren't, it would be a hate crime.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I know I'm a good-looking man, but I'm not about to pretend to be a woman.
Well, one would hope not. But the point,
anyway.
But the point
Move on to the next slide, Adam. It's just a repetition of this one. It's just there she was at the protest the other day.
But she's right to be there. She's right to say these things, because
she is.
But things like self-ID are a destruction of women's rights. right? We say blackface is bad, but we don't say woman face is bad.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand it.
She's gone up against Emma Watson as well, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's what?
Emma
Gone up
Watson.
against, yeah.
What about Emma Watson?
Emma Watson won't do another Harry Potter project if J.K. Rowling is involved. Emma Watson wouldn't even have a fucking career.
Emma Watson's shite.
She wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for the existence of J.K. Rowling. Literally, Emma Watson owes everything she has to Joanne Rowling.
She does. She does. And you know what? This is all the fault of the feminist movement, that women's rights have been eroded.
It's very odd, isn't it?
It is odd. But I know you think, hold on, how can the feminist movement erode women's rights? But that's what they've done, because they've tried to make women equal. Mm-hmm. When in real terms, women and men are never equal. And we've discussed this at length before. So the problem then becomes that if you try and make two unequal things equal, you end up in a middle ground that benefits no one. And that's exactly what's happening to women here.
I mean, I don't get why we don't just acknowledge the differences between men and women. They exist, right? Yeah. And celebrate women for what they are. I don't see the issue with this. Now, equality under the law, certainly, right? No issues with that whatsoever. That should be a given at this point. In fact, the gender wage gap, that myth that's not been, well, in England anyway, has been illegal for 40 plus years now. They create these problems to have a grievance, and that grievance doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Have you noticed that the stories we cover are generally men that want to become women?
You rarely do see it the other way around.
Hold on.
I know somebody.
When we're talking about trans,
what stories do we cover where men want to become women?
When we're talking about trans people, we always look at it. I'm paraphrasing here, but we're always looking at it in the context of a man who wants to become a woman, because you rarely see it in the inverse.
That's right.
Especially in the mainstream, because, I mean, this should be the biggest red herring of all, right? Is that when we look at the women's sports argument, for example, a man transitions into a woman and then, oftentimes goes and dominates women's sports. Dominates. But if a woman transitions into a man, you don't hear of the inverse. And then you try and tell us there's no difference.
Look at that model that famously appeared pregnant, who was obviously transiting into a man. Mm. That was an example of, the inverse.
Yeah, of course. But at the same time, the women's sports argument, I don't get why it's so hateful to point out the fact that men are physically, by and large, physically stronger, better built, have more dense bones than women.
Because that's a fact. Mm. And you're not allowed to point out facts.
No, but...
Shut up already! It's science!
But it is so dangerous, isn't it? The danger is we are putting women's rights back.
Women's rugby has been destroyed.
Well, of course.
By men.
Do you honestly think that... I remember there was an MMA fighter who came up against a man that transitioned into a woman. It could have been Ronda Rousey, I'm not sure. But she said that it was like nothing she'd ever felt before in her life. Her skull was fractured. Mm-hmm. I think her eye socket might have been done in. And is that in itself not very, very dangerous?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yep.
I stand with women here. I stand with women.
Yep. Let's move on.
Let's. What do we have here, John?
What we have here, mate, is lunch at the Wag the Dog canteen.
Are they little American flags, John?
Where?
Inside, it looks like they're American flags inside the whatever
so
it is.
This is lunch. You can have the choice of sushi or borscht at the Ukrainian Armed Forces field canteen.
Wow.
Now
that's quality right there.
This is fucking bullshit. That's what this is.
This is where your billions are going.
Yeah. So, sushi or borscht. This is just absolute lunch on the film set.
Yep.
That's
You know
all it
what?
is.
You don't get that at UK military bases.
No.
I was there yesterday, and I
course
didn't
you
get
don't.
sushi.
What
Of course you don't, because
did
this
you
isn't a military base. This is a film set. And if you've ever been on a film set, the food is usually. I mean, the one thing they do is they do food.
Yeah.
Because-
Catering is usually pretty good
Yeah.
because you want to keep your actors happy.
You got to keep your actors happy, and all your extras and things that don't get paid, they're all doing it for nothing, right? But you feed them,
Yeah,
and then
craft
they're
services,
happy, and
baby.
they come back the next day.
Well, you're exactly right. This is very, very odd, isn't it? At the end of the day, I mean, when you went to Army yesterday, Adam, what did you get? A pre-packaged sandwich?
I had beans and hash browns.
Fucking hell. That's because you are stupidly adhering to your vegetarian principles while your wife isn't there. Are you some kind of retard? You had the opportunity to get some decent protein into you, and you had fucking beans and hash browns. I tell you, I'm worried about this man. He doesn't have proper thought processes.
They were good hash browns, though.
There's no such fucking thing as a good hash brown. It's a potato. It's a carb.
I mean, some
Oh,
hash browns
good
are pretty
God.
good. Some.
Yeah, they might taste good, but they're not doing you any good.
Doesn't matter. It tastes good.
Yeah, okay. Right, so shall we move on?
I think we should.
And talking about WWE or whatever, well, you weren't, but you were talking about MMA, but I keep getting confused between these 3-letter acronyms for these things. But here we have this young lady who was ex-WWE,
Yep.
aged 30, dead.
I think you might be on the wrong slide.
I think he is, yeah. Where's he go? He's going the wrong fucking way.
Right,
Go.
come on.
Let me catch up. I've got the Ukrainian one, and then we've got
Down.
There
got
we
it.
go.
Right,
There we
I'm
go.
there. I'm
Sarah
there.
Lee, aged 30, dead. Tributes pour in after former WWE Tough Enough winner passes away. Now, we don't know at this point what she passed
I think
away
that actually
from.
might be my fault because I think I skipped one there.
No,
Right,
no.
John, we've got it.
I apologise for that. But anyway, yes. So there you go. So cause of death
Unknown.
has not been revealed.
No, experts are baffled, John.
Yeah, well, they are baffled. Worldwide experts are baffled, but
Absolutely baffled.
that's a tough one, isn't it?
Well,
two,
yeah.
two kids, I think. Leaves
Yeah.
behind 2 kids and a husband.
Yeah,
30. Age 30.
just it seems to be all of a sudden passed away in the night.
Yeah.
It's not good. It is not good. Now I can't in good conscience ask you to push the button because we don't know. But
No, we don't. But because the cause of death has not been revealed.
no, it has not, and it's something
Let's
we
just
must keep an eye
move
on.
on. Move on, Adam, and we'll talk about Mr. Zelensky now, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I apologise
NATO
for that.
must make it impossible for Russia to use nuclear weapons, says Volodymyr Zelensky.
So his plan for that was what?
Well,
His plan for NATO to make nuclear weapons used by Russia impossible is for NATO to do what?
Well, he was on video saying preemptively nuke Russia, essentially.
Hold on a minute. How does that stop fucking Russia using nuclear weapons? Does that not mean they're more likely to use nuclear weapons?
Well, one would say so. One would argue that yes, but
He's
he's kind of walked it back already, hasn't he?
Oh, they walked it back almost straight away because I've no doubt the phone was ringing off the hook from the White House going, would you fucking play the game, you idiot? See, what we have here is we have an example of a retard, right,
Yep.
who now believes his own press.
Well, one would say you're probably right, but he is on video asking NATO to
Mm-hmm.
preemptively strike Russia's nuclear convoys,
Yeah,
and
And
that's World
that-
War III, baby.
that's nuclear annihilation.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, this guy's he's He's got a screw loose.
Look, for the sake of my children, for the sake of your children, for the sake of anybody's children that might stumble across this show, he needs to be stopped. Right?
Yeah.
Because if he gets his way when asking things like that, that's your children's lives over. You might as well kiss him goodbye.
He's completely out of order.
Yeah.
He's completely out of order. And speaking of people that need to be stopped, what's going on here then on the next slide?
Do you know what? I was actually singing. Well, so let me start this off by telling you that Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios are actually two separate companies, right? They may be both owned by Disney, but they're two separate companies. Because I started off this morning singing the praises of Marvel Studios before I saw this, didn't I, John?
I don't know. I didn't watch the chat.
So they've released
I had this on the list last night, so you don't need to fucking throw things at me.
Well, I was going to say, Marvel Studios have released a new show, well, it's kind of a mini-movie onto Disney Plus today called Werewolf by Night.
And you said it's fantastic.
It is fantastic, yeah.
I'll
It's
need to watch
really
that
good.
then.
It is really good. It's well worth a watch. I was flabbergasted that this came out at the same studio that are currently releasing She-Hulk on a weekly basis. I was like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you got to remember, Marvel is a big studio, isn't it?
yeah, of course.
And obviously, you've got different writers, and I think that's the point here. We have a different writing team who've done this new one.
And this is
because
actually, yeah.
you know my thoughts on the She-Hulk writer. She's a screwball as well.
So this is from Marvel Comics, who have teamed up once again, because they did this before already, I believe, with Pfizer to release the Avengers. Oh, it might have been DC that did this before, I'm not sure. But they're releasing the Avengers Everyday Heroes, and they're urging you to go and get boosted so that you can be an Avenger.
He looks like he's got a weak side of the face, doesn't he, that chap?
He looks a bit like Bill Gates.
I was going to say the same thing, you know. I was going to say the same thing. He looks a bit like Billy Boy, but Billy Boy after he's a bit more shriveled like a ball bag and maybe a bit of an onset of Bell's palsy there. But,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what do you guys think to this? Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think Marvel Comics, not Marvel Studios, are up to here. Do you think it's just a nice payday, a nice wedge of cash? Or do you think that they really do want to do good in the world and get you to get the medication that you need? Let's move on.
What's wrong with Ultron as well? Why would Ultron attack a clinic? It's odd, isn't it?
Well, you know what? Ultron's probably the good guy in all of this. Let's move on.
Well, before we move on, what I'd like to say is I'd like to thank a very generous donation from someone 73, I think it was. I won't give out your real name unless you want me to, but very generous donation last night, and thank you very much. And we really do appreciate it, and we'd appreciate more donations because that's what keeps the lights on. That's what keeps us coming to you and giving you these
daily shows,
these fantastic shows.
So if you would like to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, subscribestar.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, and we would really appreciate your support in keeping the lights on here. Also, this is my last show for a few days. You're going to be leaving it in these two capable hands whilst I'm away, Monday to Wednesday next week. So if you'd like to buy me a glass of wine whilst I deal with my children in a foreign country, then please consider giving me a personal donation at paypal.me/WillyBricks. Links are in the chat. Shall we move on?
Yes, let's go to my son Hunter. So what's happened here then? Because he's been well, you know, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen here, right? So federal agents apparently have seen enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with tax and gun purchase crimes.
Okay.
The U.S. Attorney in Delaware must now decide whether or not to do it.
Okay.
I think what we'll get is a statement to say the Hunter has shown sufficient remorse and it's not in the public interest to proceed with this prosecution.
And now he's a sensitive artist.
Yeah,
he's a sensitive soul.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think it's going to get buried.
Yeah, I think you could possibly be right.
In fact, you know, it's quite worrying because this is the kind of thing that Joe could poke a nuclear weapon at to bury this.
Well, Well, yes, but also Joe could. If Joe threw his son under the bus here and said, "Right, I'll hold my hands up. My son has been a bit of a deck," he would actually get a bunch of people on side, and he would see his approval rating probably rocket.
It might actually do him good in the midterms, but I think Joe's strategy for the midterms appears to be buying the votes by letting all the stoners off.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
He tried to do away with student debt, and that's not really working because I think they were running out of hookers too quickly. And now he's let all the stoners off. So what's his next mad strategy for the midterms? And speaking about the midterms on the 8th of November, what's going to happen there, Ben?
Well, we're going to be sitting here all night long, all night long. We'll be
Midterm
live.
madness.
Yes, midterm madness here at Chasing Dissent. We'll be covering all of the votes. We'll be bringing them all to you and we'll be covering all of the news sources as well. So we'll be flicking between MSDNC, CNN, Fox News. We'll look at some others as well, and we'll see what they're saying, what they're predicting, and we'll bring you the results live all night long. And it will also be a bit of a fundraiser as well.
And Ben might even play some songs on his guitar.
And we might have some guests.
I'll also see if I can get access to the Dominion voting machines so that we can see it in real time.
That would be handy. That would be handy.
No, that's the kind of thing that would have the FBI crashing down your door. Next thing we know, Adam's on a Supermax. Free the Somerset one. Free the Badger man. And Adam's made a plea from Supermax in Arizona. Can he have a badger as a pet, please?
Don't worry, I'll use a VPN and I'll get my friend in Belarus to do it. He'll sort it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Make sure you run it through Ukraine. I mean, what?
Well, that's where Hunter ran all his stuff through.
Well, exactly. Shall we move on?
Yes, let's move on. So now we have the bastard son again.
Hello, John. It's me, Nicola. Hello, John.
Pretendy son of Elton John, right?
Yeah.
Who pretends to run a pretendy government in a pretendy country.
Yeah.
Makes a pretendy bank.
Yep.
Which is unregulated, right? So it's not a real bank. And then puts billions of money in it. And somebody says at the bottom there, didn't it make a loss of over 3 million? Well, no, I think the loss actually turned out to be in the region of £15 billion.
That's your money, ladies and gentlemen. That is your money.
Yeah, and before you say that's Scottish people's money, it's not just, because remember, Scotland gets quite a substantial whack of money from Westminster in the form of the rate support grant.
Well, once again, that is your money, ladies and gentlemen. Yours.
Yes. So
and yet this woman is like freaking Teflon, isn't she?
No, nothing sticks.
Nothing sticks, and she just remains in power. And then all of the little SNP sheepies go out and give her their vote. I don't understand.
Yeah, oh, they love her. I mean, this is a cult. And Adam, I don't know what you think, but this to me is exactly how a cult works, and she's a cult leader.
Yep, I agree. I think she's got the look of an insane cult member or an insane cult leader.
Look, listen. All I'm saying is this: if you go to an SNP rally or an SNP event and she offers you a beverage, no, don't
take it.
Don't drink it. Don't do it.
Right, now here we go, Adam. This is what you were starting to allude to earlier. Okay, so this is what's appearing in all the papers about these 3-hour blackouts and. Use your appliances during off-peak hours. Now, if you move everyone to using their appliances during off-peak hours, do they not then just become peak hours?
Well, yeah.
and hold on, don't they? Off-peak hours generally would have less electricity production because you definitely won't have solar during off-peak.
No.
right? And there's a good chance you might not have wind, because I don't know if you guys have ever been out about 3 o'clock in the morning. The wind usually dies down and doesn't pick up again till about dawn.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so you're going to be hammered for wind and solar, so you probably find that if you start using stuff at peak hours, then you're going to have to run more gas. Now, the caveat is the National Grid actually didn't say that they had planned blackouts.
Right.
What they said was, if gas runs really, really low,
Which it
then
should.
which it shouldn't. If it runs extremely low, then we may need to limit some energy production from gas.
Yeah, and I mean, we are mostly a gas-powered country, to be honest. Gas
Yeah,
turbine.
well, yeah, most times. I mean, let me have a quick look at GridWatch and see where we are.
But
Let's
then
see
what
what we're
peop-
getting just now.
But what people also have to understand is this: when they scaremonger like this because of Putin,
Yeah.
what they're actually doing is lying to you, in effect, because as we have tried to convey many times here on this show, we only get 3% of our gas from Russia.
Right, so we're doing really well just now.
Okay.
Okay, for our world-class leading wind fleet.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, it's obviously, well, it's quite windy up here. I don't know what it's like down there, but bloody hell, it was blowing a gale. Anyway, at the moment, nuclear 14%. Okay, gas turbine 13%.
Oh wow.
Biomass 2%. That's
Okay.
burning trees. And you know what? People go on about, Scotland's or Canada clears like 14 million acres of trees to burn them. It's fast growing shit wood like pine. I mean, and it's, to be fair, if you're not shipping it across the world, it's fairly carbon neutral, right?
Yeah.
Because you're growing a tree and you're burning the tree. Carbon in, carbon out, carbon in, carbon out. Not a big problem, right? It's not like it takes freaking tens or hundreds of years for these trees to grow. They sprout up in 5 years or whatever. But anyway, so wind, 46%.
Jesus.
No, I'm John. But yeah, I can understand why you would call on a deity. That's a live feed as we speak.
That's
Solar, 12%.
I'm
So we're
surprised
actually
it's
doing
even
pretty
1%,
well.
to be honest, looking outside at the moment.
We're actually doing pretty well, although we're still buying 3% from the Netherlands,
Okay.
and we're selling 3% to France.
So, that
We're charging them a lot of money.
I don't know why that happens. I don't know, but
no, me
so
either.
we're buying 3% from Holland, and we're selling 3% to France, and then we're buying another 4% from NSI, and we're buying another 4% from NEM. 3% from NEM. I'm not sure who they are. NEM. But yeah, there you go. So there you go.
Okay, well that's interesting.
That's the
So
Belgium
the-
interconnector, John.
The NEM.
Yes.
So that's Belgium, right? So that's 3% from Belgium, and what's NSI? Do you know what that is?
NSI is the North Sea Link Interconnector.
Oh, so that'll be to Norway or somewhere like that, is it?
Yeah, Norway to Blythe.
Yep, there you go. So that's 4% from Norway and 3% from Belgium. So why are we buying all that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I just don't know. Shall we move on to our next story?
Sorry, am I boring you?
No, I'm just sick of talking about gas, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, I was talking about energy. The audience might be interested. Maybe they're not.
Maybe they're not.
Okay. Right, well, let's move on to the next story then. Let's move on to the next story. Iran. It's all kicking off in Iran. So what do you think is going to happen in Iran? Do you think it's going to go... Do you think the regime is going to fall? It's quite a
don't
controlled
know.
country.
I don't know, because we don't see half of what is actually going on over there, because the mainstream media here don't really cover it. I mean, I can see that they are here, but the mainstream media obviously over there don't cover it because they will be regime controlled. And what we could ultimately see is we could see the regime fall, or we could see another Tiananmen Square.
Well, yeah. See, the one that worries me is this thing. The co-founder for Justice of Iran says protesters need the support of the international community to win this very unjust battle. Now,
Right.
that may I translate that?
Yep.
Team America World Police.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need. That's what they're saying they need.
America!
That's exactly what they're saying they need. Because there's nobody else can do it.
You're right.
And the problem with Iran is it's part of BRICS and all that, isn't it?
Yep.
So they're going to have the backing of China and Russia and India and Brazil. And
And
you're
the
going to
regime
end up...
does like to chant death to America a lot.
Yeah, and we're going to end up with another World War III scenario. It's like a perfect storm, isn't it? It's
really
all
is.
coming together. I mean,
It
really,
really is.
Hunter Biden's gun crimes are just getting buried under all this shit already. I mean, you're burying them for him.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Shall we move
Now,
on?
this is science I could get behind.
Okay.
Drinkers may be less likely to develop dementia. Shocking study finds. Well, if you're a drinker, you wouldn't find it shocking. But we know why drinkers are less likely to develop dementia, don't we?
Because all of the bad brain cells are murdered by the drink?
Exactly! Exactly! And you're only left with a fit and healthy brain cells. There you go.
There you go.
Case closed.
That is it. Case closed. We can move on from that one.
Shut up already. Science.
Right, so we're now getting towards the end of the show. We've only
Okay.
about 3 slides left. So have you heard the problem with the chess cheat?
What?
The chess cheating thing.
I've
So
not
this
heard
guy,
this.
this 19-year-old chess champion, right? What's his name? His name is what's his name? It's
He looks
Hans Niemann, right?
right.
So he's a 19-year-old grandmaster at chess,
Okay.
and he beat some Norwegian grandmaster, Magnus Carlsen, and of course, because Carlsen's 31 and been doing it a lot longer, they go, he's cheating. And the theory was he was using vibrating anal beads connected to a computer somewhere,
We've all done it.
which was sending him signals. Now, one, the mind boggles.
I mean, to come up
How-
with that, where does that idea even come from?
Well, yeah, but what? How do you send us? How do you send move queen to king's pawn 3 or something like? How do you send that information to someone using vibrating anal beads? Is there a list of anal bead codes?
I'm gonna punt this one over to Adam. How would you do such a thing?
Well, I just like to sort of like segue onto the BBC article about this. I mean, this guy hasn't been proved guilty,
No.
but the BBC are saying that he likely cheated in more than 100 games.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I mean, really, this guy has anal beads up his ass and he's getting wireless signals sent to them to tell him what to do.
I mean,
What,
if you've ever
what
cheated,
nonsense!
if you've ever cheated in an exam, you have everything written on your ruler. You don't shove
Yeah.
it up your arse, do you?
No, you don't. I mean, this is just mental. This is just... No wonder he doesn't look fucking happy, because this guy's scanning his arse.
Yeah, but my question is this, right? My question is this. At what point, where does the idea that he must be cheating inside his rectum come from?
Well, this is just... It's another one of these, I've just plucked it out of thin air. You know, it's like 1.5 degrees of temperature change. It's like drink 2 litres of water. It's just a number. We just pluck it out of thin air and we go with it, you know? It's just an idea. He's using anal beads. He must be. It's the only way that he could be cheating.
He did admit to cheating in informal games when he was younger, but hasn't since, apparently.
Oh, so that makes him bad, because people, they must atone for the sins of their past,
Look.
whether it be their grandfathers or racist slave owners from 1822.
I want to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say something that might shock you two.
Go on.
I want this to be true.
Do you know what really annoys me? Bad journalism from the BBC as well. They've not mentioned anything to do with his anus. They've not mentioned how he cheats. All they've done is they've done a story that says he cheats, and chess.com have tried to ruin his career.
Right, so I mean, the whole thing about the method of cheating is the story. Not that the fact that he's suspected of... I mean, let's face it, this guy's suspected of cheating.
Yes.
Right, that's all. I mean, this guy's innocent. Are we still innocent until proven guilty?
Well, not in this inverse world, no.
Yeah, but in this case, we should be.
Yeah.
If you're likely, the probability says that you've cheated, then you have.
Yeah, so there you go. Speaking of cheaters, right, so what the hell goes through people's minds, right? So, male pilot, female pilot. Okay, male pilot deadlocks the door, and you know how there's reinforced now, so nobody can get in, and they can only be open from the inside. Deadlocks the door, strips naked.
Right.
This is like that time that Ben left his camera on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So female pilot, is suing the airline, him and her union, because she reported this, and basically nobody did anything.
Was she? I'm guessing she was his co-pilot at the time.
Yeah. So she's been castigated, and he's had it all covered up. And so he's still flying with Southwest, right? And his defence is he wouldn't have done it if she hadn't told him to.
It's a fair defence.
So it's like, you know what happens in the cockpit stays in the cockpit.
And do you know what? I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. You know what? This is the kind of thing that, you know how sometimes planes fall out the sky for no apparent reason?
Yeah.
There's your fucking reason. Somebody bumped the autopilot switch and it just went, ooh, boom.
Yeah, no, I fully believe his defence. I'm not going to lie.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure she maybe got cold feet or whatever afterwards and thought, or during it or whatever, but, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I am too, and we can't be sure, but on the balance of probabilities, from the sounds of things, she didn't run screaming during the flight.
Exactly. So don't put the next slide up yet, because I'd like to lead into it.
Okay, I've got you on full screen, John.
Right. So this is the last slide. So the New York Post.
We do like the New York Post. They
have come up with a survey, and the survey says that Ukrainians generally, okay, and they backed this up with a video of a guy on screen showing them where they were going to go.
Right.
But so the Ukrainians generally, in the event of a nuclear war impending, aren't going to do much except all proceed to a designated area where they're going to have a huge fucking orgy and go out with a bang.
I mean, that is what you should do.
So, what kind of
it's worse things to be doing, though,
there is worse things to be doing, but this just shows you the mettle of that country.
Yeah.
So they're going, oh, well, let's have an orgy. Let's orgy. Nuclear war? Orgy.
You may as well bend over and kiss your ass goodbye, but you might as well have some fun doing it, right?
Yeah, so there you go.
I like Eastern Europe.
I do too.
They're mental. They're absolutely mental.
But, when in Rome, or in this case, Ukraine, do as the Ukrainians do.
Ukraina, orgy.
I mean, that's pretty much your only option at that point, isn't it?
Well, I mean, how much notice do you get? That's the problem.
Well,
it's not like you're going to get a couple hours notice.
That is the question.
How is one prepared for an orgy? You're just going to have an orgy anyway on the off chance.
Why not?
Maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're just going to have an orgy at the off chance.
Why not?
And then if it doesn't happen, well, it was we thought we were going to die, so we just fucked.
Yeah, we assumed that all of the bastard children would not be born.
Yeah, there you go.
But okay. And on that note, I think that brings us nicely to the conclusion of this show.
It does.
Once again, this is going to be my last show until next Thursday. So I'm leaving you in these two capable hands, one above and one over there. And hopefully they deliver you a fantastic show next Monday to Wednesday. I will be watching, and if you screw up, then
If you'll screw up.
I have a barbed wire whip. That's all I'm saying.
I shall stock up on Biden's cookies to help me.
yes, please do. That is probably going to be a good start. You've done a fantastic job keeping us in check and in line today. Only one mistake. I'm very, very proud of you.
No, it wasn't his mistake. It was mine, actually. I skipped a slide.
Oh, so no mistakes,
No,
John.
I did apologise at the time, did I not, Adam?
Well, I'll let you off, John. Don't worry.
There you go. There we go. And all is well, and everybody is a friend. Once again, if you would like to support us, then you can do so at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, subscribestar.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed ko-fi, that's ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent.
And Kofi is the preferred method because they don't take a cut.
They don't take a cut. No,
They don't take a cut.
They don't. But you also get access every Sunday and Wednesday to the after party, and that is a link that is put out on platforms for you all to come and join us in conversation. Shoot the shit, have a laugh. It's not recorded, it's not broadcast. It's good fun. It's a video call, essentially. We have a laugh. I will not be there this week, so it will once again be down to these two people right here to keep you entertained this Sunday night and on Wednesday as well. Well, I may be there for Wednesday. I might do it from my car just to shake things up a bit. We shall see. But otherwise, John.
Thank you, one and all, for attending this episode 136 of Chasing Dissent Live. It's good afternoon from me, and may you have a lovely weekend.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience to talk. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system. You forgot Uranus. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work to.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.